And supposedly, the only thing that the Cyclops is afraid of is the Anjanas.
Okay.
And so the Anjanas will help people fight off the Cyclops.
Okay.
But I thought interesting.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so that's one that's on the friendlier side. Um, Another one that's friendly is called the Busgosos, and they're taller. They're taller, bearded duendes. They dress themselves in moss and leaves, and they're known for really kind of two things. They'll play flutes throughout the forest again to help guide people who are lost out of the forest, and they'll also help repair barns and homes that have been damaged by weather.
Okay.
So they're friendly. Now, one of the more mischievous ones is the Dianos. That's one that's more mischievous, and what they like to do, I thought this was pretty funny. They can transform. So this was one that actually had more powers.
Yeah.
What they do is they're tricksters, and they transform into different livestock. Right. So when they see that a farmer is out with trying to find his lost cattle, they'll turn into this cattle and then disappear. The farmer thinks he's got his cattle back, and then they're out. Right. They appear as donkeys, and what'll happen is people get on their back to ride them, and then they grow to massive proportions, kind of just like freaking the person out. And then the other one to turn into horses, and people will get on, and then they just start spinning in circles super fast, getting the person dizzy, and then just kicking them off. So I thought that was pretty funny, the livestock one.
No.
And the last one down, Joe, if you were a duende, this one would be you, okay? So they're these smaller duendes, and again, they dress themselves in leaves, moss, and twigs, and they live in bushes, right? But they love to play tricks on people, and they're notorious for lifting up the skirts of women and pinching their butts. That's right.
That's my kind of duende right there, man. So if I see a good badonkadonk, it's going to get, back in the day, I'd have to get a little pop. All right, man. So yeah, a butt pinching duendes.
Yeah. So, like I said, that was 4 of them. I saw at least a dozen different types in Spanish culture. Thought that was very interesting.
Man, that's wild, bro. That is wild.
Yeah.
This is the second thing that I slept on that turned out to be like completely like fascinating, right?
Yeah.
Like,
really cool.
I had no idea, right? Yeah, I had no idea. And so, yeah, well, I'm gonna tell the guy that's, you know what, buddy, you're getting a T-shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna reach out, man. This is actually a good topic, man, that he recommended on it. Wow. All right, Steve. So let me catch my breath here for a minute. You know how we always do, right? Real or not real, Steve? What are you thinking?
I'm going to go with my typical answer. All right. Do I believe that they are real? Probably not. I think it's a very cool story. The folklore is awesome. You know, I think that's a really cool cultural thing. But it's almost like how we have Bigfoot. Mexico has the chupacabra, right?
Right.
There are a lot of people who believe that it is more than just a story. And it's not just a couple. I mean, we're talking about all of Central America, Latin America, Spain, and the Philippines. Like, people really believe it's real. There's a lot of reported sightings out there. So do I personally believe it? No.
Right.
But is it someone has seen something incident? Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So for me, I actually got to say, man, of course I believe it, but I'm actually going to bring like some receipts.
Okay.
A little bit more receipts on this than I would with the normal one, right? And it's going to play into it. I laughed off the Pugwudgie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you told me that, was it Freetown, right? Freetown, Massachusetts, right? That they had crosswalks for these things. And that we had somebody post a comment in our video, the video that we dropped on Monday, 3 Mondays ago by the time you probably see this. Her story was amazing. And it's like a paragraph and a half, right? And I was like, wow. So I'm like, all right, cool. So there's something there, right? And like, there's something there, right? I've never seen magic arrows. I've never, whatever, but something's there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then hearing this story right here and doing the research in this story, right? I've never seen more written documentation on anything else we've studied than this freaking duende. Right? I haven't seen it. I could have went, like I said, I didn't even get that far where you got the 12 classifications
Mm.
just in Spain, right? I've never seen more documented stories about them. I've never seen more stories about each of them being different, having their own type of styles, where they're not all just, butthole evil, right? And I have never come across the 10 ways to get rid of one, right? I've never even seen that before. I've never even
Yep.
seen that before, right?
Yeah.
And so when I combine that, man, with the Pugwudgie, right? That's in
Mm.
Northeast Americas, and then Central America, South America, Philippines, Spain. Man, there's something there, right? There's like there's something to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I gotta say, man, like
Yeah.
I'm in, man. Like there's something, yeah, there's something, right? Like there's something there, man. And then it always goes back to that book back there, man. When I read the book of Enoch, man, and I go into the book of Giants and I see how they created the Fae, right? And these definitely, in my opinion, would fall under the Fae. Would you?
Mm.
So if you're new to this channel or whatever, and you don't know what the Fae is, it's basically it's the what they everything in fairy tale land is called a Fae, right, Steve? Is that how that works?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like everything in like fairies and elves and all that stuff, and gnomes and duendes and pugwudgies, they created the Fae, right? And yeah, man, I gotta say, man, there's some threads to be pulled on this. The guy I
Mm.
spoke with back and forth, he's 100% in. He says, and he says that when you get, even in the cities, he says these things because they live in your houses, right? Even in the cities, he'll tell you that, yeah, no, that this is not something that's just specific to the the rural areas. And
Yeah.
Central and South America is massive. It is completely massive, and it is.
Mm.
I would say people don't believe me when I say this, but I would say that Central and South America is probably about 90% habit, habited and habitable, where people live, right? Because
Yeah.
the other 10% is 90% uninhabitable.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
90%
Yeah.
jungle is what I'm trying to say. Only
Yeah.
about 10% of the areas of all Central and South America are densely populated areas. I know that people don't believe this, but you can fly from Barranquilla or Cartagena to Bogota,
Hmm.
but if you don't fly, it's like a 3 day drive, like
Yeah.
through the like you might literally get kidnapped, like literally through like these like crazy little roads, right? So
When I down there, we went from Medellin to Manizales, and we took a bus, and it was like an 8 hour bus trip, and like there were sections where you're kind
yeah,
of looking, going, am I gonna?
yeah,
Is this bus about to fall on a cliff? Kind
yeah,
of.
exactly, man. Like how are we seeing how close we can get to the edge, right? So yeah, it's wildly still very dense, very populated,
Mhm.
foresty areas, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, well, so man, I'm in, dude.
All right.
Damn it, man. So yeah, man. Now I said the Pugwudgie would make a great church softball team name, and the Duendes would make the other one. The Duendes versus the Pugwudgies for the for the semifinals.
Hmm.
Man, all right, brother. Man, another zinger there, brother. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, all right, you got anything else, Steve?
No, that's it. That's
All
it
right.
for me.
All right, man. So, well, if you stuck around this long, nerds, then you are into the win days now. So, welcome to the club. And you are
Mhm.
our kind of losers.
You threw me off. I thought that's what you were going with.
I was, man. I was bringing it in
Threw me
slow, man.
perfect.
I was bringing it in slow. You're our kind of
Perfect.
losers. So, do us a favor. Hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing, but it makes us feel like big men. Give us a thumbs up. If you do have any Duende comments, I will absolutely read them. So will Steve. Leave those in the comments there. And if you want to hang out with us more, hit the link in our bio, our link tree. Join us on Discord. You have quicker
Mhm.
access to us. We're all kinds of good stuff going on there. We're slowly growing it. And if you got any stories that you want to if you have any stories that you would like to share with us, jump in Discord. Let us know. We'll bring you on and just do a one-on-one with you.
That's
But
right.
that's it.
I can't get these fireworks to go again. Come on.
Fireworks.
There we go.
Boom, Steve. Boom. There it is. All right, nerds. Steve, we're out.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.